Well, has the COVID-19 pandemic changed your Thanksgiving travel plans? Likely yes. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now advising against all travel for the holiday, but many people will still be going. If that includes you, Q2's Russ Riesinger talked to a local expert to bring you advice.
Whether by plane, train, or automobile, Thanksgiving is typically the busiest travel time of the year. But 2020 is not typical in any way, with the COVID pandemic still raging.
And preferably, if at all possible, that all these households should just stay at home and try to avoid travel at all if possible.
Dr. Neil Koo is the lead epidemiologist at the Billings Clinic. He says of all the modes of transportation, travel by car carries the least risk. Traveling by plane is perhaps the most concerning, even though airlines have taken steps to disinfect planes.
And certainly there's a lot of anxiety, and that's being kind of discussed about this because it usually involves going into a place where that's crowded or very, very small confined areas.
That can make social distancing next to impossible and increase your risk of contracting COVID. Koo says you should always wear a face mask in public and may want to consider additional protection if flying.
There are some discussion that suggests that wearing eye protection may be warranted because of the close proximity between passengers.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says you should take these questions into consideration before traveling this Thanksgiving. Is someone in your household or someone you'll be visiting at increased risk for getting very sick from COVID-19, such as the elderly, those with chronic diseases like cancer or diabetes, and obesity? Are hospitals in your destination overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients? Are there requirements or restrictions at your destination? And are you traveling with people you don't live with, or have you been in close contact with people you don't live with in the 14 days before you travel?
This time of year is really concerning.
The experts say the safest way to protect yourself and others this year is to stay home and not travel at all. In Billings, I'm Russ Riesinger reporting for MTN News.
Thanks, Russ. Now, if you travel by car, Koo recommends using a drive-through or ordering takeout rather than sitting inside a restaurant. But again, the recommendation for this year is not to travel or spend time with anyone outside of your household. Well, despite initial reports, the annual Flakesgiving tradition will happen this weekend for local families who may need help with Thanksgiving dinner. Volunteers